Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south, I'll be spreading out.
What's going on, guys? Hey, man, welcome all channels. We have TikTok in the house, IG in the house, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. But welcome to another episode of Business, Funding, and Whiskey, where we actually talk about business, talk about how you fund them, but at the same time, we hydrate with whiskey. So how you guys doing today? Hey, man, welcome. We got one of our guests, the Michael Hyche, which is an Airbnb guru.
Yes,
this guy
sir.
knows more about Airbnb than my mama. But anyway, guys, I have Brock with me today. This is my right-hand man.
Salud.
Rated Assassins and 360 Business Vantage. So today, let's talk about business. Let's talk about how we get Airbnb. How do we fund this? But at the same time, let's let our hair down and let's drink some. Hey guys, welcome. How we doing, Brock?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I've already got a drink poured, little green spot. And
Here we go, baby. Here we go,
man. I'm gonna be finishing this thing pretty quickly. All right, awesome. So for everyone watching out there, hey guys, welcome to another podcast. If you're not familiar with it, business funding and whiskey. Says enough, right? So we're going to talk about business funding, everything underneath that umbrella. We're going to be drinking whiskey, and we've got Michael Hyche here.
How you doing?
Is a guru when it comes to short-term rentals. So I guess, first things first, Mike, who are you?
Well, I'm Michael Hyche. I've been in the real estate market for about 20 years, but when I first started off in real estate, I started off as buying houses, fixing them and flipping them, and then I started buying and holding, then I moved my way to the short term.
Okay. Hey, for those people who don't know what short-term rentals are, what is that?
So short-term rentals is basically being in the hospitality business. I basically do what a hotel does, but have properties spread all over the U.S. And not only do we have property, we're basically a property management company as well, because we work with people with short-term rentals. Like, let's say if you have your own single family home and you don't know what to do with it, you're getting sick of dealing with tenants, you want to sell this property. Before you sell it, people come to us. We have managed the property, show them what all the things that we need to make this a short-term rental and manage the property for them. So,
love it. All right, awesome. So what are you drinking?
So I got this right here just in case I had to break loose, the blue label. But
a little blue label.
I'm trying to lose weight.
Just in case of emergency. I'm trying to lose weight, so I got some red wine. I wasn't drinking at all, but Carlos told me I had to get a drink, man. So I'm drinking the Federalist. Yeah, the Federalist wine. So yeah,
no pressure, man. Everybody else is doing it. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So Michael, where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Is that where you are now?
Born and raised. Yeah, born and raised. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm first generation here. My family from Mississippi, but I'm the first generation here.
Gotcha. So what does Michael like to do in his free time?
So I was just showing you guys earlier.
That's what's up.
Believe it or not, man, I'm a nerd, man. I read a lot. So I'm constantly in the book, man. I'm constantly trying to teach myself, man.
Love it.
So either that or working out,
There you go.
That or working out, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos, you want to hit him with the next question?
Go ahead, brother.
All right, awesome. So, let's talk. Let's get into your business, right? Because I definitely want to know more. I'm sure a lot of people out there have considered, hey, I'd like to do Airbnb.
Right.
I like that business model. So, kind of going back into the short-term rentals. So, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So, the umbrella of short-term rentals, Airbnb falls underneath that, right?
Yes, sir. Now, Airbnb, everybody call it Airbnb because Airbnb branded themselves to be like the McDonald's of the short-term rentals. So, everybody just used that name in vain. Oh, Airbnb, but it's really short-term rentals. I mean, we're hostess. I look at myself as a hotel. Every time somebody check into one of my rooms or any of our properties, I want it to look like the pictures every single time. I want you to get that cozy feel. I want you to have just to get that feeling as I'm stepping into a 5-star hotel every single time.
No, absolutely.
And what state are you actually working in right now, man?
I can't hear you. The music up a little loud.
What states are you working in today?
What stage?
What states?
Oh, states. Oh,
Yes.
so we're mainly in the Indianapolis area, but now we're starting to go over to the North Carolina area, we're in the Atlanta area, California area as well.
Nice,
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
So how did you initially get into Airbnb? Like how did that become a thing for you?
That's funny as hell. So as I met you guys back a couple years ago or a year or so ago, I was jumped into the credit thing, but my wife wanted to jump into short-term rentals, and she kept talking about it. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do it. So we ended up getting some coaching, and it worked out for us, man. It actually became one of our biggest investments. So it turned out to be a runner, man.
So let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
In the past, I know that we have tried to do some Airbnb, so we got some Airbnb. And I know it wasn't that easy for a lot of people, but
Not at all.
once we actually got in, we were able to acquire some new property. So I want to ask you a question. So if someone today is trying to go ahead and do Airbnb, for a lot of people looks unattainable.
Right.
What would you advise them to do? What is the first step that you would tell someone that is trying to get into the Airbnb business today?
Okay, so anytime anybody trying to get into the short-term business, I would tell them the same thing that I would tell anybody trying to get into any business. Get coaching.
Got it.
You know, so if I got $20,000 and it's up to me to, okay, let me go ahead and get this first property and make all these mistakes, or let me put $10,000 down on a mentor and let me do it the right way, I'm always going to go the right way.
Of course.
That's just me, because I bumped my head so many times in the real estate industry that it was, you know, I wish if I could take it all back, I would have did things 1,000 times different.
So that's awesome. That
make
is
those
awesome. So you have a background in real estate, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so somebody
20 years.
20 years. So let's just say, because you know you're gonna have this question no matter what. We're gonna have the question that, okay, look, I never done real estate. How can I get an Airbnb? What would you advise someone like that?
Right. So my advice to anybody who want to get it is, I'm telling, get a mentor. But if you don't have the funds to get a mentor, you got to study, man. If you gotta know, like me, either you have the money to pay for the mentor or you have the time to pay for that lesson. You know what I mean? Like you gotta substitute one or the other. Like if I don't have the finance to do it, then I'm gonna do as much research as possible to learn what I need to learn to take myself to the next level.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. So let's say that, you know, I've got a property, right?
Yeah.
And why should I choose Airbnb over just a traditional renting model?
So the reason why I would do it, the reason why I do it is because it's less wear and tear on my properties first and foremost. Like this thing, if I have somebody rent my property out from me for a whole year, the chances of, first, let's take it here. Most tenants don't make it a whole year. Let's be honest with ourselves. Some do. You luck up a lot. Some might make it 10 years, some might make it 5 years, but you have these headache tenants that you deal with on a regular and that might not even make it the whole year. And it's hard evicting them out. They're going to beat your property up. They're going to tear up this stuff. Just imagine somebody in the property every single day. Let's say if he lost his job, this dude is going to be there in your property all day, turning on the water, messing with the faucets, hitting the walls. I mean, he's going to tear your property up. When I'm dealing with short-term tenants, they're in for a weekend, they're in for a week, they're out. My cleanup crew come in, they clean it back up, get it back to what it needs to be.
So wait, hold on. So what you're saying, if I am a homeowner, it would be better for me to rent it out to someone that works in the Airbnb space than rent it out to a regular tenant?
Big time, because there's less wear and tear on your property, less headache. Wow. You don't have to worry about a car breaking down and being stuck in the driveway for a whole year, bringing down the neighborhood.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to keep this property as beautiful as possible. The neighbors love me. The people that's coming in love me because it looks exactly like the pictures. I over deliver every single time. Like what I do with all my people that come into my rentals, I give everybody a free bottle of wine.
Nice.
On me. Every single time.
So you get them drunk. You get them drunk.
Yeah, I get them drunk. And then another thing I do too, I keep everybody's eat. Yeah, I keep it. Let me get some with that. Look.
No, but that's amazing. That's amazing. So you're talking about customer service. No matter where we go, from having customers to even Airbnb, your clientele coming in, your people that stay in your apartments, in your homes. So you're saying customer service goes a long way, right? Because if I'm correct, what you have reviews. They leave reviews behind, and the better reviews that you have, the more schedulings that you have, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the way you do that, so when you start setting everything up, you can kind of automate everything. So by the time somebody check into my room, I send a message out to them, greet them, let them know all the rules, this, that, and the other. Then I'm gonna send them another message to check up on them again. But we set this all up on automation. By the time, let's say you stay there for 5 days, I done sent you probably 10 emails or messages just saying, hey, you okay? You good? What you need? You know, anything. I'm just keeping in touch with these people. You know what I mean? And I'm just giving them the best service possible, man.
Now, let me ask you something.
You can literally automate it.
Got it. So what type of service do you use in order to automate this? Because, that's a question that people's going to ask. Well, automate. I thought that I'm the one that had to go and clean. I thought that I'm the one that had to go open the door. I thought that I'm the one that had to actually check everything out. So, people's going to ask these questions, right?
Yeah, they do. So my team consists of, it's a very small team, and it consists of my housekeeping, which is the key player on your team. Nice. Housekeeping and the maintenance man. But then I automated through all the systems that we have. Like, let's say if I become a hostess on Airbnb, if I become a hostess on Airbnb, I have to set up all their following guidelines. Like, if you go on HomeAway, Booking.com, it's so many different sites that we're on, man. Everybody think Airbnb, but it's literally 20 different short-term rental sites that we're on. Wow. I'm on multiple sites, man. You can find my company on any site.
Not only Airbnb. Wow, that's interesting, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I'm telling you. At first, I used to think it was Airbnb too. I called it Airbnb until I found out, man, it's like 20 different sites. Like, I just joined the site the other day that's set up for RNs only, all over the world.
Wow.
And I discount them. If they rent my rooms for a month, I will give them a discount for the whole month, even though I probably shouldn't, because they make a lot of money and I know they get compensated, they get money for that part. But hey, I'm pretty fair, man. You're gonna book it for a whole month and save me a headache of filling the room up the whole month. I give you a discount.
Yeah, why not? Right?
So Michael, I got a question for you. So on your Airbnb properties, these are properties that you own, is that right?
Some are, some aren't. So I do it two ways.
Let's go.
That was the killer. Yeah. So I actually got a couple ways that I handle it. So I will get a contract. Like, let's say if you're a homeowner, right, and I'm interested in your property, and you have your property for rent, I will just sign the rent as a tenant. Me and my company, we will sign the lease as a tenant, but I'll have you sign an addendum, letting the addendum basically breaks down that you know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
I told you from the beginning that I literally, I'm having short-term rentals. I let them watch a whole video. It's based on if you go to my website, you can see a whole video breaking down that why I'm a better tenant to you than a regular tenant.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I let these people know this up front, have them sign an addendum so they can't go back to court and say, hey, what if they see me making too much money or something? They get mad. They're like, hey, I want you out.
That is awesome.
Bam. It's proof that you knew that this is what I was doing. I came in as a business. I signed this lease as a business.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
I signed it as a business.
So Michael, I got a question for you. So like on these properties that you rent or even some of them that you purchase, often they're probably not furnished. So how do you get away with that? Like, do you go and do you rent a bunch of furniture or do you purchase it or what do you do?
So you can do both. So if you go to a lot of furniture places that you always see, they got deals going on all year round. Like, hey, 23 months, same as cash. If let's say that I'm cash tight, right? I'm saying for somebody out there that's cash tight. If they cash tight, they can literally go do exactly what I said. Go talk to an owner, have them sign an addendum, and then go to a furniture store and try to work a deal out, or go to one of their sales. They got 24 months, same as cash. You know what I mean? So it depends on how you want to go about it.
But you got to have good credit.
You got to have good credit. You have to. Credit rules the world, man.
Now,
that is a fact.
That's king, man.
Cash is trash. Credit is king.
Yeah, I'm telling you, credit is
all
king.
right. So my next question for you, Michael. So let's say that I'm in the market to buy or even rent a property to Airbnb. What are some key aspects that I should be looking for that I know? Cool. If I get a house with, I don't know, let's say a pool, I know that I'm going to get far more money than a house without one. Like, what are some things that you traditionally look for?
So I'm gonna tell you my secret. One of my secrets. I have many secrets, but
wait, hold on.
I know, right. I'll tell you one of my secrets, man. Just one secret. Just one secret. To that. All right, let me get one too, because I just don't tell everybody this one. And I don't get any endorsements on this one. So I usually go to Air DNA, and I will research all the properties in that area. Now, that's the one thing. It's a database that you have to break down that I have separately. You guys are interested in buying, I almost sell it. I send it to you guys, but sell it to everybody else. But I have a way that I install all the information that I found from AirDNA, and that will calculate the numbers for me and tell me exactly. It'll give me a pro forma. And anybody in real estate knows what a pro forma is. Basically, it's like what is project, what it's supposed to make this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. What it's supposed to make. But it gives me a pro forma, and my numbers are usually 95% on point.
Yeah. So pro forma for a lot of our clientele that actually tuning in today, pro forma is the way that your property is supposed to perform. Yeah. The way that properties around you, like compositions, properties that are actually looking like your own property and supposed to perform in the area. Mm-hmm. That's how much. So what he's doing is actually taking properties that already been rented for the month, and usually
I do it for a year back. I go a whole year back.
So between 60 to 80%. Am I correct?
Yep. Yeah. So I usually do my occupancy about 75%. I'm sorry.
75%. Good. And a lot of people do it in a conservative way to go 65%, and that's how they say, and they're determining if you could make money. Now, question to you, Mike. I know that every state in the United States is not the same.
Not at all.
How do you deal with this? Because a lot of towns, states, and little regions have their own regulation when it comes down to short-term rentals. How do you get around that? Because you're gonna have people over here saying, "Okay, but in my state, they don't do business."
Right. Or in my city.
You're right. And you know what? And I actually have a sheet that breaks down every city in the United States.
That's
and if
awesome.
It's green, it'll tell you no. If it's yellow, it'll tell you this is kind of an area where they might trip. And if it's if it's red, if it's green, it'll tell you go. Red tell you no, and yellow tell you it's kind of an area that trips. But of course, I know a lot of students that have been doing it in these areas where they're red. I'm telling you, man, no, if you're not big, they're not looking for you. I mean, of course. I don't want to say nothing, you know what I mean? But if you're not big, they don't really care. I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
I have one in the hills in California, like in Timbuktu. I'm telling you, but if you, it rents like crazy, and it's in a red area, but nobody has said anything to me. I had it over here, and
let me ask you something.
Airbnbs in this area, so.
Got it. So now let me ask you something. So when you do all these rentals, do you do it in your business or do you do it in your personal?
Everything my business. I wouldn't dare do anything personal. Yeah,
and when you do this, how important is business credit?
Business credit, like we were saying earlier, is king, man. Like, I don't know how people survive without it. Like, I know I got some things going on with you right now, Carlos, and I'm telling you, business credit is king. Why not use somebody else's cash if especially if I'm experienced at what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. Why would I not gamble on myself and use somebody else's cash?
And again, one of the things what we preach here, and we preach the gospel in this channel, is that business credit will take you so far. So let me give you an example. Let's just say Michael Hyche has 2 apartments that he can get today in the same city for about the same price. Usually rentals, anywhere you go, we go between $2,500 to $5,000. Let's just say that he wants to get a high-end apartment. And a high-end apartment costs between $5,000-$7,000. In Miami, you'll find a hell of a house, a luxury house, could be rented for about $10,000. But you can go around and rent the same house for one day between $9,000 to $10,000. So you can make your own rental payment in 1 to 2 days. So that's game right there. And that's if you find it. But you know how you do it? Because your personal credit will not get you there. There's always a cap on where you can go. Business credit can take you there and on the second house too. And even more, depending how you build the foundation. Go ahead, man.
I got one thing too. So what I love about also having good personal credit is when I go into these houses and I'm negotiating a deal with a landlord, right? Let's say if I'm going to take the lease, I always show them, when you guys get there, you can do this. I always show them a picture. I always go to my bank account and show them what I have in my business bank account. Then I also go to my personal credit and say, hey, this is my personal credit, but I don't want you to rent it.
Okay, nice.
I let them,
and they don't run your credit if you.
They don't run it. No, because I would pull my screen right in front of them and show them all 3 of my credit scores and say, this is my credit score.
Nice.
But if you run it, I don't want to do this deal. If you don't run it, I'm willing to do this deal. And I can show them my business credit as well, even though a lot of people don't know business credit.
Right.
A lot of people don't know the steps to take to get there. They think when they start an LLC that it starts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't realize the steps that you have to take to get yourself to be able to get approved for business credit. So when I show these landlords my personal credit and then a picture of what, I'm not a picture, but I go and actually my bank account and let them see this is what I'm working with. Yeah. We move forward.
Wow. So what Mike is saying in this is a lot of people don't know how to create the business credit. And that's when we're talking about the foundation. We're talking about the compliance signs that you need. And that goes for TikTok over here. And that goes for IG as well. Guys, you need to start building the foundation, meeting the compliance signs. And that's what we want to we want to help you so you can start having different revenues, stream of revenues, cash flow, passive income. And the way that you could do it the faster way is creating your business credit, developing your business credit. Create a business. You work from home. You have an office home. Guess what? That becomes part of your rent becomes part of your expenses. Everything will become part of your expenses. Your light, your don't tell anybody, but your food too. you gotta feed the beast. You gotta feed the beast. Everything else. Even the alcohol. Remember, business, fucking, and whiskey. This was a business expense.
Yeah.
Right there, business expense never tasted so good.
I'm telling you.
So,
go ahead, Brock. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna move on, but if you got more,
go.
I
want to say something.
I get so passionate about business credit. My man is like I'm like a kid in a candy store because I know that with business credit we could get so much. We've been able to accomplish so much just because business credit without touching my personal credit. So I know it works. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why you see it in my voice. All right, let's go, boy.
And then I want to say one more thing too. A lot of people don't realize too. Everybody think when you're dealing with short-term rentals that you have to be in bigger cities. I will honestly, if you're smart, which a lot of you are, you listen to Carlos and Barack right now. Brock right now, so it's like you guys are smart enough that you can do short terms in every city, man. And you can go to smaller cities where colleges are, get short terms next to the colleges. You can go next to hospitals, get short terms next to the hospital because people are coming in from other cities to visit their families, their kids to live in, these college dorms or, going to see their mom that they haven't been in a city in 15 years. They need somewhere to stay. Don't think of a big city because the big city is already, it's oversaturated. So if you guys are smart, so go to the smaller cities, man. You don't think you can go out and freaking Lafayette, Indiana and make a killing, but you can. You know what I mean? I can do short terms in Anderson, Indiana and kill it. You know what I mean?
Really? Wow.
I have numbers I can show you. Like it's like, dude, you can go. It's all about you want to go places where families are going, like I said, next to the hospital, next to the school.
Awesome. Okay.
Interesting. Right. I never really thought about that because I always thought, hey, I got to be in a big city to Airbnb. But you're saying, listen, just get around a point of interest and you should be gravy.
You're actually better off in a smaller city because you don't have to deal with all the rules and regulations.
That is true. Right. That's smart.
Yeah. So Mike, what would you say to somebody who's like, hey, man, I just don't have time. I'm so busy. Like this, it infuriates me, as you can tell. Enough time, right? How long does it take you to manage?
You know what? Just to that face, right here. Just to that face. That's a great explanation, by the way.
Everything is set up pretty automatic, but if you don't have time and you're looking for somebody who's professional, who's in a business that can take your property and take it from making $800 a month to double that or sometimes triple that, then call our company up. We'll take care of that for you.
So
you charge anywhere from a 25 to a 35% management fee, depending on where your property is, how your property is, what locate. Because I got to do all my numbers as well. So
nice,
love it. And we're gonna put your contact information in the links below this video. But I kind of want to rephrase that question a little bit, right? So, how much of your time do you spend managing one property?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. When somebody check out, all I do is make sure I call my cleanup crew. I have them go over there and tell me what the inventory is, because I have an inventory list. They take extra bottles, which I have everything locked up, so they don't ever go into my stuff that's locked up. But you know, I just had them tell me the inventory, and it's probably an hour a week, maybe two. You know,
it's awesome,
all I do is look at our bank account like Seuss. And then what I love with most of these short-term rentals too, like anytime somebody check in, they send me the check the next day.
Nice.
So let's say if you stay, I just had somebody stay at one of my properties, right? And they stayed for 20 days. They came from Germany, stayed there for 20 days. I got a $4,300 check the next day. After they check in, 24 hours later, the check is deposited in my bank account.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, when you new with like some of these sites, they might make you wait a couple of days on your first couple of times because you're new, but usually I can pay 24 hours right after somebody check in.
That's strong.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
God, you don't even have to wait for them to check out for you to get
I'm going to drink to that one.
Let's salute to that one.
Yeah, you don't have to wait till they check out. As soon as they check in, 24 hours after they check in, the check get deposited. It sends you the email saying, hey, you just got a payout of $4,300. You just got a payout of $300.
So let me ask you something then. I know that your company helps business owners all around the United States to manage these companies, right?
Yep.
How can people get in touch with you?
So you can give me a call, or you can really go to KKT Properties KKT Vacate Properties at gmail.com. Send me a message. And then also got it. I'm on every social media site as well. Now, like I said, I don't spend much time on most of the business because it's automated. So I would have to, I could give my team and I get everything from here. So
that's awesome.
I set everything up on automate, man. And my wife is the biggest part of it too, because she handles a lot of logistics. But I'm telling you, man, we don't put much time after setting up. The setup was the hardest part.
So with that said, you said your wife handles the logistics, right?
Yep.
Does it need to be a two-people or two-person type of team in order to do Airbnb?
Not at all.
That's tell us that you are lazy, right?
You get a little bit. I think all successful people are. I think all successful. Hey, look. I bring the ducats. I make sure we got enough money to do what we got to do.
That's amazing.
Well, I'll make sure we got the money to do it all.
So Michael, I know you've been in real estate for 20 some odd years, right?
Yes, sir.
What would you tell somebody who's completely green? They're like, hey, I've set up a little bit of money, right? I've got a little nest egg here, and I want to start doing either short-term rentals like you do, or maybe I want to buy my first property. What kind of advice would you give that person?
Well, first, I will first tell you to know exactly what you want to do first. Like, people don't realize in real estate, man, it's over 20 ways to get paid in real estate. You know what I mean? So you want to find out exactly what you want to do before you take that step, because I see a lot of people jump into one field in real estate and realize that this ain't for them. You know what I mean? Like, if I knew better, man, I would have never, I'm not going to say I never would have started buying and flipping properties, because I learned a lot doing it. But if I would have known better, I probably would have started in commercial and short term.
So what would you have needed to start in commercial?
Just the education. Because it's a different beast, man. You got to learn your NOIs. You have to learn what rent rolls are. You need to learn what T12s are. You need to learn what T6 is. You really have to educate yourself, because it's different than residential. Totally different. It's a numbers game.
Different.
It's a numbers game. So it's like with commercial real estate, you can have an apartment building right next to the door to mine, but mine is worth more than yours because I know how to control the NOI. You know what I mean? So you really have to. I'm a big believer of education, man. You have to educate yourself. Like,
and again, like one of our big mentors over here, and again, Grant Cardone, he always says, if you want to start somewhere, you want to start investing, you should invest in yourself.
I agree. I'm a firm believer of that.
Start learning, start gaining a skill, because whatever you are, even if you have a 9 to 5 today, invest in yourself, investing in a skill is going to make you more worth it to actually be able to actually make that money that you really want, create that financial freedom. You know what? I see Brock over there drinking, so I'm drinking something too.
Let me get some too.
Salud.
My man, you know what? I feel bad for Brock because he's always so dehydrated that he needs to hydrate.
I am. I don't know what it is.
Look, I'm already at a gallon. I'm at a gallon of water already.
No, but he hydrates a different way. He hydrates with so whiskey.
There's a little bit of water in it. You know what I mean? Like
a little bit of water, right? It is
ice cubes.
So, Michael, my next question for you, man, is you've got a lot of great things going for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're in the real estate game 20 plus years. You own multiple properties across 50 states, right?
Yes, sir.
So what does financial security mean to you?
Financial security means, what did it mean to me? It means just being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, honestly. And what people don't really, no, let me take that back. Financial, it's more of knowing that I'm going to make a certain amount every month consistently.
Got it.
Like, let's say if I was someone who was making $300,000 a year, if you know every month that I'm going to make this $25,000 every single month without batting an eye, I can quit doing what I'm doing today, and this money's going to come in consistently. That's more freedom for me. That's more security for me. Knowing that this money's going to come if I stop doing this today, it's going to come regardless.
And again, everybody have heard it completely different. That's what it's called passive.
Passive, for sure. Passive
you
income.
create different venues or different avenues for you to create that money. In this case, we got Airbnb. You see it, and he's telling you, he's dumbing it down for you. That like anything else, there's some work at the beginning, and you're gonna have to mainly invest in yourself. Mainly invest in that. That's gonna be most of the work. You're gonna have to learn how to do this, and you know what? You should do it. Nothing comes easy in life, but once you actually get to what Mike's level is at right now,
yes, sir.
That's when you automate everything, and that's when the passive income and that like that you can now take your time and concentrate into something else and do the same thing. So what is it? Create, rinse, and repeat. Same thing over and over, and you can continue to different avenues. And that's when we're talking about when you start creating what's called financial freedom, generational wealth. Because remember, it's not only you. I'm sure that you have family members out there. And for those that don't want family members, you know what? Just live the hell of a life for the rest of your life. But if you have kids, I know that you want to leave something behind. Like me. But if you're not, live the best life that you can with financial freedom when it comes cash flow, using business credit. Goddamn.
Gotta use business credit.
Let me do it.
And what a lot of people don't realize too, man, it's like real estate. Like, let's say if you're in a real estate business, let's say the people that jumped in the real estate game 5 years ago and they was renting properties out, they was only making, let's say if I'm renting this property, I'm only making $200 a month. But then 5 years came when properties tripled or doubled. That's what a win is, man. The win is never in the short term. If you want to get in the short term game, business ain't for you. You know what I mean? It's a long time play. It's not something that I get into and I expect to make, $1 trillion in 2 years. I tell people all the time, man, it takes 10 years to be a master of anything, 5 years to be skillful at it. You know what I mean? Don't jump in this game and think that you're just going to learn it all overnight. If you jump, this is a real commitment. This is a marriage. This is a commitment. I love her when she make me money. I got to love her when she not making me money. This is a real, because sometimes we get over our head as investors. You know how we do it, man. I could be making $100,000 a month today, and then I go invest it all, or I go make a deal where I'm investing $1 million, and now, at the end of the year, I'm like, shit, what the fuck did I do? I'm sorry, what I'm supposed to tell.
But let's talk about let's talk about commitment. Let's talk about commitment. Let's not talk about marriage. Certain people on this channel do not want to be married. They want to be committed for sure, but not marriage.
Well, this is a commitment. This is a commitment.
So let me ask you something.
I mean, it's different. It's a baby. You're birthing.
Okay, here we go. Your baby. Your baby. Right?
You're birthing it.
All right. So something that we've been doing in Credit Assassin and 360 Business Vantage is that we've been creating a lot of business credit because there's supposed to be a recession coming up, right?
Yes,
which will be the time for you to acquire some properties to probably do some Airbnb. What do you think? What do you think about the strategy?
I think that this is a market that it's not going to end anytime soon. I honestly feel like short-term rentals, this is still the beginning. Like, a lot of people still don't understand what it is we're doing. It's still at the beginning. I feel like right now I'm at the beginning of something that it's old to us because we've been in real estate. It's really been going on for about 10 years, but this thing, man, this is the beginning.
Right. I mean, a lot of people make the mistake of, hey, I want to rent my property, when they could have a monstrous short-term rental on their hand and they have no idea. But their mom and their dad told them, "Hey, listen, rent for your properties," right? So, no, absolutely, right. It's a learned thing. So,
yeah, I'm saying like renting your property is kind of equivalent, like when your parents say go to school, get a good job, and get good grades and get a good job. It's equivalent to that. That's what I feel like renting your property is nowadays.
Now, what would be best? Do you rather own the property and then do Airbnb, or just go to an arbitrage type of deal that you may make, or rent a property out and then do Airbnb with it? Like, what's the best way to go? Because a lot of people don't have the credit. They're working on the credit. And if you're working on your credit, you better give us a call. 516-600-0127. Business credit, here it is. But let's go back to the question.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather do?
It depends on where your funds are.
Okay.
It depends on where your funds are, and also where your education is on buying a property.
Got it.
Like, if you're not educated, if you don't know the steps it takes to go get a property, or what an interest rate is, like I said, put some time in your education. But it depends on where your funds are. If I have $300,000 sitting right here, why would I go into it leasing from owners? I'm gonna go into it on my own stuff, because if you make a few mistakes, at least you're making it on your dime. Or at least you're making it where it's not gonna hurt you bad. If you're leasing a property for somebody else and you make these mistakes, like, you might run the chance of getting booted out, getting evicted.
Right.
That's what's
so Michael, I got a question for you, right? So on the path that for you acquiring multiple properties over the years, right? What's one of the biggest mistakes you made? It could be one of the memorable ones, and what did you learn from it?
All right, the biggest mistake that I have learned was I was telling you guys, I had somebody threw a party at one of my properties. I didn't have cameras on that property. So from now on, I have cameras on every single property. I also buy this one thing, I forget the name of it right now, that I will put in every single house. If the noise hit a certain level, it'll
Decibel?
Decibel. No, that's not the one. I guess like called mute on or something like that. Where if the noise hit a certain level in the house, I'm calling them like, "Hey man, how many? What's going on? You having a party?" I can kick them out and keep their money if they're having a party, because that's one of my rules. You can't party. You can't have pets. I mean, some people do where you can have pets. I'm a pet lover. Don't get me wrong. Don't hate me, people, but I don't want my place smell like dogs. I don't want to stuff smell like dogs.
Right. Because what if your next person's allergic? Like, my wife's literally allergic to every animal.
My wife too.
My
wife is
guys, mine is not. I'm sorry, I don't have one.
Look, think of that. I know, right?
You know how to think of that one.
Hey, what I say is like a relationship. Some days you love it, some days you hate. No,
you know what? Just for that, bottoms up. Bottoms up right there.
Let me get my wine. It's right here.
What is that, Carlos? You got some Malibu in that glass? Come on.
What's going on with you? Screwball. Right there. Malibu.
Yeah, business is a marriage, man. I'm telling you. It's a commitment. Carlos says it's a commitment. It's a commitment.
But let's talk about relationship in this channel. Let's stick
to finances, business credit.
That's for more weeks.
Commitment. Way more. Look, do I have enough?
So now let me ask. Go, Brock.
No. Go for it, Carlos.
No, I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We have created a movement which we call credit assassins. Obviously, you see it, you hear it. It has become a hot topic. Credit assassin. What credit assassin means to you?
I mean that I'm gonna find my targets, which is your target audience. I'm gonna give you what you need. It means a lot of things, man. A credit assassin is really out there doing a lot of work, man. You guys been helping people with credit for a while, and Carlos, I've seen you blow from you answering calls yourself to now you have a team. Like, man, you're really killing it, man. I'm telling you, like,
thank you.
You're killing it, man.
I mean, and it's just the team that we have, man. The team that we have, we try to help people. We try to be ethical on everything we do. It's a passion of ours, because we know that that's the path. That's one of the legs of becoming financially free. You need credit. You need business credit. You need capital. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why business go out of business, because of capital. And capital is business credit. And if you don't have business credit, then You might as well just drink and forget about it.
Just drink.
Don't tell them to drink. Go educate yourself. Please educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself. Find what's right for you. You know.
Here we go, brother. Here we go.
And then drink.
Drink.
Awesome, man. So the next question I've got for you, Michael, is, we talked about, hey, mistakes that you've made, that you've learned from, but what's one thing that you feel that everybody in your space, meaning they're trying to acquire properties, maybe short-term rentals, maybe they're just looking for their first property, what's one thing that you feel like everybody should know
in this space? I think you should know how to.
What's one thing that you've learned that you feel like everyone should have known?
I learned that numbers don't lie, man. You really have to learn how to run numbers. Like this, just like I was saying in commercial real estate or even in residential real estate. Like people, when I buy residential real estate, I know as an investor I can't spend more than 70 cents on a dollar. So in a hot market or in a semi-warm market, like when the market's dry, I can spend 50 cents on a dollar, 30 cents on a dollar. But let's take these terminologies right here. If I spend 70 cents on a dollar and I know I got to rehab this property, it's a $20,000 rehab.
Yeah.
Then I know I got to take that $20,000 off. Then I need to know what the closing cost is. You just have to know what goes into this business so you won't lose. If you know numbers and you know what it takes to keep the lights on, and you know how to multiply that and subtract this, man, you'll be all right. You got to learn numbers. Numbers just don't lie.
You know what? Hey, let me give you an example of that. So again, a lot of people know we were warrior investors in the past. We did a lot of residential real estate, and we now invest with Grant Cardone, the 10X movement. I remember I had a situation in which a property that we short sale, and this was back, I think was 2013. A short sale, and we did very good. I mean, we actually spent only $6,000 in acquiring the property, and we got greedy. The numbers don't lie, like you're saying. We got greedy. We wanted to sell it for so much more than what the actual market was selling for. Wow. And 2 months passed by, the market dropped. We lost in this property more than $100,000 from the time that we could have made just $10,000 on top of what we did. So that's one lesson that I have learned. One, the numbers don't lie. Two, don't get greedy.
Yeah, I agree. And we see a lot of people do that in the business, man.
Oh man, I did it. I learned from it. So I speak from experience and from somewhere in my pocket too.
Yeah. You know what I learned from the not being greedy? So I learned that, man, once you have a system and the system is working, stick to that system, man. Like, let's say if I make for every $100,000, let's say if I make a profit, right? And the profit is $100,000. I don't care if it was $100. I need to take 25% out, put that to the side. This is my retirement money or whatever I'm gonna do with it. I need to keep this same system whether I'm making $100 or $100,000 or $1 million.
So discipline, you got to be disciplined, right?
You have to be disciplined. That's the first thing I learned in business is control of emotions. I had to learn to control my emotions.
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people buy, especially when you buy real estate, you buy emotional. And again, that's one thing that I advise everybody. When you buy a property, make sure, and again, like what you said, the numbers got to work. The numbers have to work, because no matter what, the market is going to spank you if you don't make the numbers work.
And learn to control your emotions. Because, man, if you don't learn to control your emotions, you could be winning today, so you lose, you're ready to jump off the damn bridge. You know what I mean? So if you got to learn to control your emotions and know that, hey, man, this is a game that I'm getting in that I can lose and I can win, but I have to be able to be sound-minded enough to learn from my mistakes or my wins. You know, one of my mentors told me, man, give yourself 24 hours to celebrate and give yourself 24 hours to cry when you lose. So, you know what I mean? And then get back on it, man. You know what I mean?
All right. Good stuff, man. I love this. I love that. I love talking about real estate. Two things that are my
thing.
Real estate and credit. Real estate and credit. And then some whiskey too. Salud.
Yeah.
I gotta do that. When you hear me saying salud, it's because I see Brock being parched. So I think he needs to be hydrating over there.
Always. And listen, I mean, it's an excuse to drink, right? So I love business funding and whiskey. If you guys want to know more about business funding and want to drink some whiskey, you guys need to tune in every single Thursday at 7 o'clock. I mean, that's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
Unorthodox approach to learning everything that you need to do in order to get Airbnbs, in order to acquire high limit lines of business funding, right? So we want to make it fun. We don't want to make it like your grandpa's institution on how we learned how to get business funding. That's not what we're about, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make it fun. We want to make it informative, and we want to make you allow you to make an intelligent decision when it comes to everything finances for your business.
Correct. So let's put it this way. We want to make sure that you actually are successful at everything that we do. It is foolproof, but at the same time, if you have no business learning about credit in the meantime because you need to repair certain things, we'll tell you straight up. We come from the bottom up, and we know your pain. We know the pain points that actually brought us here. We knew how to overcome. Everything that you see here is, look, we're talking about we having fun. It's because we all have a story in the past in which we had to learn a pain point because we went through that situation. We want to make sure we share that with you so you don't make the same mistakes we made. Hey, you know what? We love to help, and this is why we've been successful about what we do, because we want to make sure that you go over the bridge that we're creating for you, like our mentors have done for us. Because again, this is what we tell you. Invest into a mentor, invest in yourself, because that person will take you from point A to point B the fastest way. And that's what we're trying to create here. Well, we have fun. Yeah, we're drinking tonight and we love it. And this is when you hear the most and the best out of us. When we start drinking, when we are clear, when we're actually honest about what we want to do. And again, don't say we're honest every single time. We want to make sure that you see that we don't laugh. We're honest every single time. But we want to make sure that, look, and this is who we are all the time. This is how we want to make sure we help you. But we want to get you there the fastest way. So if you are a person that really wants to get into it, because business credit goes to every industry in our fields, from Airbnb, if you're a trucker, if you're a dental office, to a medical surgical office, you're an e-commerce, you name it, you all need credit, you all need business, and you need business credit. So that's what we're here for. That's what we want to help you. 360 Business Vantage is a foolproof top system, which is proprietary system to us and no one else in the US. We're the only company that could take you there from 0 to 100 in 90 days.
Yes, sir.
Guaranteed. All right.
Love it.
And I want to say I made one more mistake later on, early in life, right? And this wasn't really with the short terms. Like when I first jumped into real estate with residential, I jumped in with a partner who had years of experience. So my first year, I made almost $400,000. I'm at the age of 19, so I got a little cocky, I got big-headed, and this goes with the greed, right? So me and the guy stopped being partners, and I went out on my own and realized that I didn't know anything. So I lost a lot of money, and that was around that 08, 09 when the market tanked. So that was the time. Because at the same $300,000 I had, I went ahead and got a hard money lender and started using him. When if I knew how to read numbers, I would have known that this is not the time to do that. This is the time to wait, and I can buy up the whole goddamn house city. I'm sorry, man. I got me drinking them.
It's fine. So, it bleeds your face.
But I could have used that. I could have used that money in my city because at the time, I believe my city is still number one for affordable homes. But at the time, we was number one for affordable homes. So I was getting houses for $5,000-$10,000. Now these same houses are, going for $500,000, $400,000 fixed up. So if I would have knew better at the time and knew how to read numbers and really took time out and sat with the guy who I was doing the property with and educated myself, I would have been way farther along.
And again, this channel is not PG. It's not PG at all.
Cool. Okay.
It's for adults. And that's what we want to bring to you, the uncut, who we are, what we do, what we bring to you. We want to help you out. So, go for it, baby.
Okay, I just did. I don't want to cuss and be like, oh, shoot.
No, we good.
I'm pulling up my information. That's what I'm doing here. I want to be able to have that.
No, but I appreciate you actually taking the time today. I know we're busy schedule.
Yeah,
your wife doing all the logistical.
Look, I was really about to go back to the gym and walk for about an hour. That's what I'm about to do right now.
Right? We know how much time you spend per property. I mean, come on.
I was
You got
literally
time to
on
hang
my
out
way
with
back to the gym. Now you got me drinking. I'm really only doing cardio. You know? I'm about to go. I went earlier, so I'm like, I'm down. I'm doing 2 a day right now to lose this extra little
That's
pounds.
awesome. That's awesome. All right, man. But thank you. Appreciate you taking the
Carlos.
time.
Appreciate that, bro.
Actually talking to us, talking to our audience. Now, one more again, if anybody's trying to get in touch with you and tell us specifically the service that you provide. So if anyone is interested in actually working with you.
Okay, so we actually do management. Let's say if you have a couple single family properties or even apartment buildings, and you're looking to get out of the business, or even if you're not looking to get out of the business, you're sick of dealing with headache tenants and headache property management companies. We could take over for you as management companies. We charge anywhere from a 25% to a 35% management fee, and we'll turn your property into a short-term property. So you'll collect all we do is take our 25% out, and you get everything else that's left over. So let's say 1 month. A lot of our properties
25% after all expenses, right?
Yeah, no, we take 25% off top. And then we'll break your expense down. We'll do everything. But what's crazy is, man, we're actually seeing a lot of our people who was renting houses out for $800, man, they are making now $1,600 plus a month off the same property. Because we're not going to take on anything that we can't handle or that's in an area that we don't like. You know what I mean? And this is the funny thing. This is crazy. People think that they can't do this in rougher areas. You can, man. I'm telling you, it works everywhere. You know, so it just
areas. In the hood. About the hood.
In the hood, basically. In the hood.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So we have a few of them, but it's like I won't take on if I feel like this is a heavy crime area. You know what I mean? But if it's pretty cool, you know, we can still turn it into something.
Okay,
so we have the right proper system, man.
That's awesome.
Because some people come in town and want to only pay $100 a night, and we have this.
Okay. Well, perfect. Hey, we're gonna put your contact information in the link below this video.
We do.
Carlos, do you have any other questions?
No, man, I appreciate you. Just want to have a comment. I appreciate you actually being here with us.
Appreciate you guys, man.
What you did for us tonight. Thank you for our audience. I mean, if you guys want to work with them, I mean, look, we don't bring to you, we bring to you the best in the business to work with you, but we want to help you also get there by creating business credit. So we want to show you that one goes with the other one. And if you are into Airbnb, because I don't know why you shouldn't. Anybody should start doing Airbnb just for the hell of it, just to make some money. I mean, because anybody loves money anyway. So if you want to start doing some Airbnb, hey, get in touch with them. Check on the link below.
Even if they want to partner with us. Even if they want to partner with us.
You want to partner with them, or if you want them to actually match your property, or if you have a property you want to send to him, still partner with him, or whatever how you want to do. Just make sure
you get a finder fee if the deal's a nice one.
Another finder fee. So you have different ways to make money. Just make money today, guys. There's a lot of new things coming up, and we want to make sure that you stay in the know. We are going to put his information on the bottom of this video, so that you are able to get in touch with him. So don't miss this. I mean, this is the thing. We're gonna have every week a new guest in a different industry that can help you, from self-development, trucking, Airbnb, real estate investment, residential, wholesaling, multifamily. I mean, you name it. You want to know about something? Leave a comment. Let us know who you want us to actually bring on this channel, and I will hunt them down. I will bring, if I need to know, I kidnap him, put him over here in the back, and show them talk to you. Okay?
I got one recommendation, man. I got a buddy of mine, man.
Yeah.
Real close friend of mine.
Yeah.
He made like 3.5 or almost $4 million last year in the trucking business.
On the trucking business. That's amazing.
Man, this is a close friend of mine. I'm telling you, we've been close for years, man. If you want me to introduce you to him, man, he is crushing it in the trucking business, man.
All right,
love it.
Good. You know what?
Well,
we have a lot of truckers.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right, man.
Hey. Michael, thank you.
Hey,
brother.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you, man.
Awesome.
It's always a pleasure.
Awesome stuff.
Well, definitely.
Hey guys, thank you for actually tuning in today. We appreciate it. This was Michael, the Airbnb guru, with Brock, the credit sniper, and myself, your servant, Carlos Estrada Vega, the credit assassin. We'll see you in the next stream. See you soon.
Hey, take care.
I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them?